Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the build. We are now on part 20 of our Polar Lights 1-350 refit enterprise. So let's get right to work. Alright, so we have our 3 strips in, and we have our thrusters all tied in to this strand here, which marries up over here. And this is all wrong. Well, it's 90% wrong. I'm not sure why it's wrong, but it's wrong. So this right here is where we're supposed to tie everything together, and it was supposed to go into these LEDs. These 2 leads right here was where my power is supposed to come in. So power come in here, go around, come out to all these, and then eventually these strips in here. That does not work. The power, when I plugged into here, it gave me nasty noises, and this, which to me indicate a feedback. So I immediately took my 9-volt battery and plugged it into these leads, and I totally forgot that that is direct current to my thrusters, and they all the SMDs popped like little kernels of popcorn. I went boom, 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 boom. So those are dead. So this right here is where I'm going to connect all of my leads to, because this works just fine. We'll turn this up. You can see LED's working fine. Going in this side works fine. I don't know why going in this side works fine, but not going in this side works fine. I have no idea why that happened. I do know why I blew all my thrusters now. So, that's what we're going to do. All of our leads to our mains are going right in here. I guess that was a long explanation to say I screwed up. So what we are going to do is we're going to tear these out. We're going to tear this wire out. We're going to desolder it from here. And we're going to just put these little 2 mils, because I didn't light block these. I can't really get in here anymore. You can see it's all blocked up. But I can get light in there. There's nothing in there that's blocking me from getting light to the thrusters. So we're going to wire up 4 2 mils, and then we're going to wire them all independently into our mains right here. That was a long explanation, but that's what we're doing. So I'll be back when I've got all that done. I've reinstalled all of our thrusters using these little 2 mils here. You can see them. They're pointed in here. Luckily, I put a ton of hot glue in there. Clear hot glue, and that transfers the light right into my thrusters. Lucky accident. So let's kick this on. You can see the thrusters lighting up now properly. And if we go down here, you can see there's that one. And then over there, there's that one. And the other 2 work just fine. We have almost all of our mains in here. I'm still waiting on a piece before I light this. I'm still not sure on how I'm going to light that. And then the bridge, which that wire will come down here. So those are the 2 factors that are going into not doing this yet. But in the meantime, we can get all of our flashers, those 2 back there and the ones here, we can get those tied together. And I need to start looking at this piece and that right there. We need to light up our impulse engines and our impulse crystal. So I'm going to get to work on our flashers, get those all tied together, and start working on that. I'll be back in a second, guys. And as you can see, we have all of our flashers now tied together, coming out over here, right here. I know this doesn't look pretty. I went to the Oscar the Grouch School of Wiring, and I know some of you out there are probably hemorrhaging internally just seeing this hideous wiring, but you're not going to see it, and it works. So all I'm going to do is take my wires here. I'll flip this over, I'll plug it in, I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Be back in a sec. Alright, so let's just flip the switch, and there they go. Let's go all the way up. So yeah, there are all of our flashers, or what will be flashers eventually, going on. Got the red, got the green, got the white, got our 2 at the back. Now, let's talk about the crystal. We're going to start doing that right now. Be back in a second, guys. We have our impulse engine right here, and the crystal, impulse warp crystal, that goes in right here. The clear piece is still in the kit. I have to get it out and look at it. But we have our LEDs right here. We have our red for the engine color, and our center color changer. The color changer has, of course, 3 terminals coming off it. The longest is the ground, second longest is amber, third is blue. I'll illustrate that right now. There's our amber, that's what we're going to need. And then our blue, we got to flip the battery over. There we go. Get in there. There you go. There's your blue. So, what I need to do before I start messing with anything in here is to wire this up. I need about 2 inches of wire just to make sure between the engine and where the crystal mounts. We're going to wire up both of the leads of these 2 LEDs to the amber lead here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run my resistors right off these leads. I'm going to put the resistors right here and then run out some wire. I'm going to put a resistor right here, run out some wire. Ground doesn't matter because it's ground. So that is the plan. I'm going to get to work on soldering some wires in here, and I'll be back with that. Alright, so this is what we got going on here. Got our 2 red LEDs, got our color changer up here, all the wires coming out the back. Got the purpley blue for the blue, got the yellow for the yellow, and the black for the ground. And the reason this is all fudged up here with hot glue is because hot glue is an insulator. So I covered the rest of the remaining wire up here with hot glue just in case. So got our coin battery here. We will wrangle these wires as best we can. Let's shut off some lights first, because the amber is kind of dim, but that's okay. There we go. There's our amber and our red going on. And here is our blue. So we just have to remember what wire is what wire. That's why I color coded them. Now what we have to do is get those into our hull. And here's the clear piece. I've already super glued that one in. That's what it looks like on the top. I'll have to mask that off really well when I go to paint. That's what it looks like in there. So now what I have to do is build a little light box in here, around here, and then build a light box up in there. And I kind of want this a little bit above the crystal here. Otherwise you're going to get the flashlight effect. So that's going to go there. These are going to come down in here and go right about there. Hard to show. I apologize, but something like that. I'll get a better camera angle on it when I get this done. So I'm going to start building a light box for this and a light box for that. Here's where we are with the light diffusion for the crystal. I've got these circular pieces of plastic I cut out. I got one of them on the ring itself. There's one on the lip inside here, and there's one on top. This ring right here is just the inner ring of one of these water bottle caps. An inner ring right there. I just cut that out and glued it to this. I'll reinforce this. The first thing I want to do is get some light blocking on the back of this. I'm going to paint all this black, and then I'll reinforce this whole thing because this is just super glued on right now. For the engine itself, I traced and cut out this shape, and what I'm doing right now is I'm putting these little walls on the end, and I'm going to go back and use this 2mm styrene, and I'm going to create another lip right here, and then I'm going to take just this 0.5 mil stuff. I'm going to cut out sides, and I'm going to cut out a top. Don't need a bottom because this is going to just sit right in here. And I'm going to create my little light box like that. I'll of course paint the outside of this black, and then I'll be inserting my 2 mils right about there and there. The LEDs will be right there and there. So this should be enough for the engine. I'm going to get back to work on this. I'll update you in a second. Alright, I'm just doing a lighting test. This is just set in here. It's not glued or anything. I put some light blocking around there, You can see I still have to put another coat on. Getting a little amber in there going on. So one more coat should do it. Maltov at the top just to promote reflection. And yeah, that's not even in there all the way. But yeah, I got my 9-volt hooked up here. I'm just gonna check this out real quick. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. We're not getting that white center spot in real life. It doesn't have that. It looks more like that in real life. But it's just a nice amber glow. Just like that. So I think that turned out pretty good. Exactly what I was seeing on the footage from the motion picture. Now all I have to do is my light box for these two little guys here, and they'll go in there. Still waiting for the paint to dry on that. I've got it, all the pieces in paint. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry, get that built, put those into place, and I'll show you what that looks like. Be right back. Our light box is built in place and light blocked. I just put some tulip around there so don't get it on your finger. That is what our impulse engine looks like. I know it looks sourcey, especially this side. This side for some reason looks really sourcey, but it's not in real life. In real life, it's more like right about there. You see this side, just a nice red glow. I also have a decal to put on here. So I did have to take these masks off and do a little sanding on the front side of this. Then behind that I have another layer of diffusion, and then I have a bulkhead right here, and then I have a bulkhead back here, and then I built a light box around that, which was very messy, but it's done and they look great. So that is all of our lights minus the bridge and the BC deck for the primary saucer. I'm gonna tie all these lights together, flip this over, and give you a shot of what it looks like with everything on. I'll be back in a second. And there she is, all lit up. Got our flashers, got our thrusters, our hallway lights. You can see into those hallways. And then our crystal and our impulse engines. Going pretty well. Alright guys, I think that's gonna do it for this week. Next time we'll be working on the bottom of the saucer, which is right here. Getting those thrusters, getting those blinky flashies, getting something in here, I'm not quite sure yet. And we got the bridge to work on, which is right over there. And we have the sensor dome, which I've actually started to paint. So it's drying, I don't want to touch it. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank all my old subs and all my new subs. And until next time, you guys, take care.